Did you know that the same way that there is a reflexology of the feet and there are points on the feet that we can press and they are connected to different organs in the body, the same way we have a reflexology of the vagina, and there are spots in the vagina that correspond to different points and different organs in the body. And as we touch them, we can actually stimulate and bring healing energy into these different organs. And this time I want to talk about the cervix and how it's related to the heart as an organ, and also the heart in an emotional way. So it's actually the portal for emotional healing and the healing of many wounds that we have accumulated during our lives. I'm Emela Bear. I'm a sexual and spiritual coach, and I help people to connect deeply with their bodies so they can unlock the potential for living in fulfillment and bliss. So today I want to talk about the cervix and how it's a portal for emotional healing. In our bodies, we have energy. We are energy. And there are different ways to describe the channels that actually pass through our bodies. They are called meridians in the Chinese medicine, and they are called nadis in the Hindu philosophy. And they are actually just channels that run through our body, bringing energy. The same way as chakras are concentrated points of energy, the nadis actually run throughout the body. The same way there is spots in our feet that have energy, and these nadis, we have that in our vaginas. The curious thing is that a lot of the energy and a lot of the channels we have are actually concentrated in the area of the pelvis. So if we just keep all these channels blocked, the flow of energy is not going to run through the body freely and its optimum capacity, but we're going to actually have blockages. So that's why bringing our attention, our focus into the pelvic area is really important, because we have a concentration of energy there. So if we want to unlock vitality, aliveness, creativity, heal from illnesses, we need to bring our attention there. There is the channel, a very important one according to Chinese medicine, that is called Chonmai, and actually connects the heart to the pelvic floor. And so if we bring our attention there, we're going to stimulate the flow of energy, and that will run freely to the rest of the body. And there's this spot, this point in the body that is the cervix, that is the union or the connection between the vagina and the uterus. And it's a really important point because it's connected again to the heart, to the physical heart, and to also the more subtle heart, the emotions. And we have accumulated, all of us have accumulated traumas, blockages, negative beliefs about being loved and loving. We have many times felt rejected, abandoned, and we have these wounds. And so it's very important to connect to this part of the body, to the cervix, so we can bring into our awareness what is there and we can heal it. The same way, as women, we have a lot of energy accumulated in the pelvic area. And even though we don't necessarily have been physically abused, we have many times received some sort of emotional abuse. And that's not necessarily in our lifetime, but that also could come from our ancestors, the female lineage. And so in some way, we have tension in our pelvic floors, which translates many times as illnesses, sickness, lack of vitality, lack of creativity, and many other problems. So if we want to really tap into our full potential as women, we need to bring our attention there. And in this case, I want to just talk about the cervix and how we can unlock the power that is contained in this small spot. So once we want to practice, we can actually wash the hands. And once we wash the hands, we can introduce one finger to the vagina. Very slowly, when we feel we want to do it, we can first self-pleasure a little bit, feel a little bit of pleasure, and then we can introduce the finger. With a lot of respect for our bodies, with softness, with patience, we can tap into this point. And sometimes it's going to feel like it's soft, like the cheek, and sometimes it will feel a little hard, like it's like the tip of the nose. And it's dependent on what time of the cycle it is for us. So once we tap there, many times we will feel nothing is happening, it's numb. Other times we will feel it's a little weird, it's a little uncomfortable. And other times maybe we'll feel pleasure, depending on what's there. But there we have accumulated a lot of memories, a lot of traumatic events could be accumulated there, a lot of abandonment wounds, rejection wounds. So it's normal that this part feels numb or even painful in some extent. So the practice will be to just be with it, with our finger, and start exploring with curiosity, with love, with attention. And that might bring emotions, that might bring memories back. And so we can heal. It's a very soft practice because we don't need to look for the story. We just tap into our bodies, we touch, and with the time and with practice and softness, it will open, revealing many, many things. And if we don't want to use the finger, or the finger feels that it's not enough, because it could be actually not long enough, we can use a glass dildo. This is a glass dildo that I use for the cervix, that is actually made for that. It's 18 centimeters long, so it's long enough for us to reach that point. And it's also very safe because glass is safer than, we don't know what the other dildos are made of. We don't know what products. So once we tap into that, we can just stay there and see, combining with the breath, what emerges. So we can actually take a deep breath, 4 counts in, 4 counts out, and just stay and see what the emotions, what the sensations, and just being aware of the body. When we have done that, we can also start going in and out with the dildo slowly. And as we practice more and more, we can unlock many other sensations. Our cervix becomes more sensitive to the touch, and so that will enhance also the pleasure. And if we just go directly to the cervix, it will normally be painful. So what we want to do is really get used to that with softness, with patience. In the society that we live in, everything is so rushed. Penetration is so rushed. And what we want to do is actually the contrary, it's the opposite, is going slowly in. Even if you do that with a partner, the invitation is to go slowly in, to really feel whatever you need to feel, whatever emerges. And once we do that, we actually can build a capacity to unlock a lot of pleasure in that area. First, we can actually touch ourselves, touch the clitoris while we touch the cervix, and that in itself will really be great because it's going to unlock a different type of orgasm that is going to be stronger. And with time, we can just have an orgasm by touching and stimulating the cervix, because we have already cleansed some memories, tapped into the potential of it. And those orgasms are great because they actually are very cleansing, very liberating. Many times we can laugh like out of nowhere for no reason when we're having this type of orgasm, or sometimes we can cry. But the crying will not be because we're suffering and identified with the person who suffers. It will just be like a wave in the ocean, cleansing emotional stuckness or emotions that were stuck from the past. So it will be very healing. That's why I recommend this practice. This is a practice that also helps us to tap into more patience, more softness with our bodies and ourselves. And in the opposite way that we do the things with a lot of rush, with a lot of energy that is more like steady and fast, we do that, and we tap also into more feminine energy, because there is no way that we can push through pleasure. We cannot push to have pleasure. We can actually just allow. And the best way to do it is slowly practicing. So this is something I recommend, and that's why I say it's the healing portal for emotions. That's how I myself heal from many of my own abandonment wounds, because at some point I had a lot of pain in that area. I didn't know why. I didn't know what was happening. And I also realized that there was a very strong connection between the pelvic floor and my communication, my throat chakra. And well, I will talk about that in another video, and how I unlocked also my communication through doing the practices just like that. So if you like this video, give me a like and comment if you have any questions. There is also information down below about how to connect with me if you're interested in my coaching packages, in my mentorship 101.